like to identify myself as a focused, organized person. But last week, I called my workout partner, Elizabeth Gardner, and I was like, oh, I don't understand. I'm exhausted. I feel like I am going all day, but I get nothing done. I don't know if anyone can relate to that. Do you feel like sometimes you go all day and you're busy doing things, but you've got nothing done? And I don't like to say that I'm distracted, but I like to say that I get interrupted all the time. Moms, dads out there, right? Okay. But I don't want that. My kids are my reason why, right? And I don't want that for me to say that they're an interruption. Oh, that feels bad to say that. So I picked up this book, which Dave bought 2 years ago, and then I guess neither of us read it, but we bought it because it looked good, and then it just sat there. And it's Indistractable by Nur Eyal, N-I-R, Nur Eyal, okay? Indistractable. Now the opposite of distraction is traction. Gaining traction in the direction of where you are trying to go. And every time you're doing something that's that's not towards gaining traction is distraction. Would you agree? Yes. Now, what are different forms of distraction? There's internal distractions. For me, I'm a taskmaster who likes to knock out a bunch of tasks and check them off the box and get things done, okay? So if you're like me, I'm supposed to be in my power hour, making outgoing calls to prospects that I want to have conversations with about legal shit. Just 1 hour a day. I'm scheduled to just make calls for 1 hour a day, made up $1.9 million. All right, you could do this business in an hour a day. And then I decided that I want to spend the rest of my time with my children and take care of my health and exercise and go to the beach or whatever. But in that 1 hour, I get internally distracted because I'm like, I got to remember to post the flyer on SoCal Legal Shield about Super Saturday that's happening this Saturday, but it's Tuesday. I got to do it. Oh, let me just knock out this one task right now because then I'll forget if I don't do it. So boom, 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 I pick up my phone. I get on Facebook. I post the thing. Da, da, da. Oh, I see a notification. Oh, someone liked and commented on my post. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, like. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, wait, I look up and 10 minutes later, I'm not doing what I intended to do. I'm not gaining traction. I'm distracted by my internal reminder of needing to do something, which I could have easily just written down and done later because it's my power hour. What other kinds of internal distractions?
Well, let's talk about that subject, multitasking. Who here ever tries to multitask? Okay. Who here thinks they're good at multitasking? Come on, be honest. Who's good at multitasking? Well, fantastic. You're great at multitasking, but I don't have very fantastic news for you. It turns out that multitasking, I did some research. I got this from somebody else. Multitasking decreases our IQ. It takes several minutes. It takes several minutes for the brain to refocus when we change tasks. We become dumber the more tasks we do at once. Ooh, for instance, it's like performing surgery while drunk. That's what happens. You don't want to do that. Or it's like having an 8th grader write a very important business email. We don't want to do this, do we? So, but we love to say things like, oh man, but wait, but I have to keep all these things open, right? Has anyone ever said that? I have to respond as soon as possible to these texts and emails. Everyone ever felt that? Because, oh my gosh, I have these obligations. I can't let the responsibilities fall through the cracks. I might forget to do that. Whoever thinks, oh my gosh, I got all these things done. Well, here's the thing. It's okay to do one thing at a time. Yeah. most of the time. And how do we do that? We schedule activities where we do one thing at a time and turn off the notifications and put everyone at bay. And guess what? Your productivity shoots the roof.
And you know, when I multitask, and I'm really good at it, my anxiety goes up. And I think like physically, something happens when you're multitasking.
Okay, so I got some more news for you about what happens. So this addiction to multitasking and notifications, flipping through apps, viewing content and stuff online, well, it's wreaking havoc on our body. The addiction to the anticipation, the disappointment, and the excitement when we finally click on that alert or do the task, it's actually pumping massive amounts of stress hormone and cortisol into our body. And our body can't process it all out. And what does these chemicals do? They destroy our tissue, they ruin cells, they create massive anxiety, fatigue, weight gain, lack of sleep, and a desire to snack and overeat because our brain is fried. You want to okay, so this addiction to all the notifications, the distractions, the viewing the content, everything, the addiction, the anticipation, the disappointment, and then the excitement when we do the thing or hit the notification, all that pumps massive amounts of stress hormone and cortisol into the body, destroying us from the inside out. It ruins our cells, creates massive anxiety, fatigue, weight gain, lack of sleep, and a desire to snack and overeat all the time. Our brain is fried.
Hence my conversation with Elizabeth Gardner. I'm exhausted, but I feel like I didn't get anything done today. Right? So internal distractions. Then there's external distractions. Oh, can you click it, Bottom? External distractions, okay? And external, for me, there's two things that are external distractions for me. One is, Mommy, can you make me a peanut butter jelly sandwich? That's one child. The next child comes in. Can I watch the show? Blah, 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 or can I call my friends? I think, now that's great, right? And I welcome that distraction. But it does take me a minute to like get back on task and be like, what was I doing? Yeah. Okay, and then get back into it. And also, who's ever had digital amnesia before, where you go to make a call to someone or text someone, and you open the phone, and then you see these other notifications, and you're like, why was I here? What was I supposed to do? Okay, external. The second external distraction for me is the constant messages that are coming in. The text messages, the emails. I actually looked on my iPhone productivity. You can see screen time. Ooh. Last week, I had 13 hours of responding to text messages and 7 hours of responding to emails.
Wow.
I'm feeling exhausted. Okay. And only 21 minutes on the phone.
What?
Okay. Feeling like I got nothing done because I got nothing done. All right. But I read this book. Okay. We got into it. We're going to do what we're going to share with you today. This week, I feel free. I suddenly have all this extra free time now. And I signed up 3 new people this week. I helped our team like recruit 30 new people this week. I mean, I'm extremely productive. We've had time for 2 dates this week.
Yeah.
We spent quality time having dinner with our children, engaging in great conversation, getting to know them even better. And I feel like I have my life back. So
can I add just a couple quick anecdotes? So here's something I want to read for you. It's Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. That's this book, okay? So remind yourself that when you die, your in basket won't be empty. So many of us live our lives as if the secret purpose is to somehow get to every email and every text. We stay up late at night, get up early, avoid having fun, and keep our loved ones waiting. Sadly, I've seen many people who put off their loved ones too long. So here it is. The nature of your in basket is that it's meant to have items to be completed in it. This is a new way of thinking about it. It's meant to not be empty because it shows that you're in high demand. It shows that you have work to do. So regardless, there's nothing more important than your sense of happiness, inner peace, and your loved ones. Write those three things down that are more important than text and emails. It's happiness, inner peace, and connection with loved ones. And I've sat with my 5-year-old in front of me going, daddy, daddy, daddy. And I'm like, looking at my phone. What the hell is wrong with me? Right? I don't know if no one can relate to that, I know. Or we're sitting at the table, everyone's eating dinner, and people are checking their phone while we're eating dinner and not talking. What the heck is wrong with me? So remind myself that the purpose of life is not to get it all done, but to enjoy the people we love in life along the way. So, okay? So it's okay. The emails and the texts will still be there when you die, and somebody else will take care of them.
A lot of the times the messages that are coming in are like, you know, are things that people will actually figure out the answers for themselves. Yeah. If they're given a moment to just do it, to find the answer themselves without contacting you. And there's a book called Don't Check Email in the Morning, because your email, and now what feels like my text message inbox is now feeling like my email. My email is feeling like my spam, what's it called? Junk mail that comes in the mailbox. But is that it's all just requests of other people's requests of them asking you to do things for them. That has nothing to do with your agenda or what you want to be doing, spending your time. So I just want to, can you click the next one, Bob?
I wanted to touch upon one more external.
Sure.
Okay. So this is one more internal distraction, and this is the last nugget I'm going to be giving here. So allow yourself to be bored. I am guilty of every time I'm not getting stimulated, I want to look on YouTube and find the next little piece of blurb about cycling. Or I look at cycling websites and new equipment throughout the day for that quick hit, that little bit of adrenaline or whatever it is I'm interested in. Look at the news feed. So for many of us, our lives are so filled with stimuli, not to mention responsibilities, that it's almost impossible for us to sit still and do nothing, much less relaxed. Anyone here ever feel unrelaxed and kind of fried in the head sometimes? So even for a few minutes. So here's the thing. I'm going to read the last little bit here.
This is an internal distraction.
Internal.
Like internally not being okay.
Not being
with doing
okay.
nothing.
And I've been experimenting with every time I want to reach my phone for a stimulation, I just let it go. And I've been experiencing peace and creative ideas. Listen to this. Much of our anxiety and inner struggle stems from our busy, overactive minds always needing something to entertain them, something to focus on, and always wondering what's next. Like when we're eating dinner, we're wondering what's for dessert. When we're eating dessert, we're pondering what to do afterward, what we should do on the weekend. And then we walk into the house and pick up the television, pick up the phone, watch television and phone at the same time, open a book. The beauty of doing nothing is that it teaches you to clear your mind and relax. Allow your mind the freedom to not know. And when you allow yourself to be bored, it takes an enormous amount of pressure off of you to be performing and doing something every second of the day. So now when my children ask me, Daddy, I'm bored, I say, good. It's really great to be bored sometimes. Why don't you be bored? And I've been having a lot more peace as I've denied myself the stimulation, looking at all the notifications and things like that. So now we're going to get into solution. Okay, we've described the problem. Let's get into the solution.
I do want everyone to write this equation down. Okay. This is from David Bird, a high performance coach. He said, your performance is equal to your full potential minus the interferences. Would you agree with that? Your performance is equal to your full potential minus the interferences. And interferences are going to come. We live in 2023. Okay, the media, the news, everything's around us constantly pinging for our attention. But there are some things that you could do to manage the interferences so you can reach your full potential. Who would like to hear what there? Okay. So let's talk about your freedom. You can hack back on all of these distractions. First thing you want to do is identify your priorities.
So what are the top priorities we find in Legal Shield? The top payoff activities. What would those be? Raise their exposures. How about prospecting calls? Does that sound important? Okay. Follow-up calls. Two major things that are highly productive. What else? Three-way calls. Okay. So prospecting, follow-up calls. What about, we got to check the emails and texts sometimes, don't we? So, I mean, we got to do them eventually. And we got to check social media because that's an important part of our life and things like that. And we got to work our business there. But what we can do, can I cover this, is take those priorities and put them in a calendar at a particular block of time and only do that one thing. And our stress level goes down, our minds relax. And I've been noticing this when I turn off the notifications and I just focus on prospecting calls and don't look at my phone or computer, I'm just dialing the phone and working off of paper, I start smiling more and I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying talking to the people. But when I'm staring at my screen and talking at the same time, I get there, I'm like talking irritated, you know, and not having a good time. I don't know if anyone noticed that. So I want to show you real quickly, who here uses a paper calendar for calendaring? Who uses some sort of book like this? Okay, great. And who here just uses their phone, putting calendar events in their phone? Okay, absolutely. So real quick, I want to show you real quickly how to block out some of these times so that we get them done. Because once it's in your calendar, it's easier to do. So if you have a paper document, I'm just giving a quick example. On Monday, I have a block that says prospecting calls for an hour. Put in my calendar. So open up, let's experiment with Monday real quickly. Open up your calendar, your phone, or take a paper calendar and just start a calendar event, you know, on your phone and just type in prospecting. Create it for an hour. And then texting and emails. After that, I do need to check text emails to see what's happening, but I have it for about a half hour blocked out. And that's all I'm going to do in that period of time. So take out your phone, create a time for checking text and checking emails. And you're not going to do them at the same time, right? You're going to parse them out. And then I have follow-up calls after lunch. So open up a time, write in your book, follow-up calls, and put a little square around it. And then I have ride a bike after the follow-up calls. That's important to me. You can take a walk, meditate, whatever. And then I have dinner, important. I have check text one more time because text kind of round back at the end of the day. I want to do before the evening comes text check. Once again, compartmentalized, right? It's not freaking me out. And then I write down the kids. I put the kids there. Time, I'm only going to focus on them and look at nothing else. They love it. They only need like 15, 30 minutes and they're satisfied. It's amazing. And then after that, I put a little square and I put read. Okay, I've covered all the major important things. Put them in your calendar and they get done and the stress level goes down and we actually enjoy, I find I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people feel when they're not able to get done what they intended for the day or what you want to be doing, we get frustrated. And the law of congruence states when we're not doing what we know we should be doing, it leads to self-loathing. But that's a very frustrating space to be operating in. And we can completely turn it around by making a pact that you're not going to get distracted, that we're going to create traction this week. Yes? Yes. Okay, we're going to create traction. And that is by giving each thing 100% of your focus. And know that the things that you need to do will also get done in the blocks of time that you allow. And then you also want to, calendar, right? Calendar your values too. Dave values his health, so he's riding his bike for a few hours every day. He values family time, so he's got the family dinner time and then the time with the children. You're making sure that those values are the first thing that go on your calendar.
I value my health, so I block in time for dates with Liz. So.
And you know, the thing is, you want to give your family the first of your energy, not the last of your energy all the time. And that comes by intentionality. And I am actually a really good scheduler. I've always operated my life with a schedule like that, even more so, you know, every 15 minutes of doing things or whatever, like, which sounds crazy to some people. But because I allow myself to get distracted with my internal reminders, like, oh, gotta remind Ray to bring the water bottles to the meeting tonight. Gotta send this and that. Let me just do this one little task, and I could be taking a walk, trying to de-stress, but I've got my phone with me and I'm banging out tasks because technology is anywhere, everywhere, all the time.
One time.
We have our work devices that we can, don't distract me, that we can be doing our tasks at any time, but that's not the time for me to do it because I look up 30 minutes later, I miss the pretty birds in the sky, the mountain views, the fresh air, because I was so focused on knocking out these tasks, because I was worried that I wasn't going to get it all done. But again, we feel better when we're doing what we want to be doing with our time.
Liz one time was hiking while looking at her phone. She
Oh my
almost
God.
stepped on a
I
rattlesnake
almost stepped on a rattlesnake.
because she was walking and texting along. So don't step on rattlesnakes while you're
Can
texting.
you hit the next?
That's a life hack.
Yeah. Okay. And then schedule the time to check your messages. Like Dave said, if you designate a time, like I'm scheduling mine at 1 and 4, I will check the texts and the emails to make sure, you know, that I'm getting that stuff that people are getting attended to like they need to be. And so I know that it's going to be taken care of later, so I can focus on my income producing activities without being interrupted internally or externally. And your freedom will come if you get to do what you want, minus the interferences. Your freedom, loving your life and every minute that we have left on this earth comes from doing what we want, minus the interferences. You master the interferences and manage that, and you will have an amazing and free life.
I wanted to remind you to cover something. Could you talk about how to use this to manage social media, how you can enjoy your time and then do the productive time? You want to take a minute for that?
I started to get business on social media, I would say in the last 12 months, like get more than I was. And so I was starting to spend more time on there, and it's different for each person, okay? But for me, I had to make the decision that instead of posting every day, which then requires, okay, if you're gonna work the social media like you can to actually get business from it, it requires you to not just make the post, but then engage with everybody who likes and comments on the post. And I couldn't keep up with it. So for me, I just made the decision to just post one a week, at least, you know, once a week, and then engage with that one. So I have my social media day is Thursday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. I will make a post and then I'll be able to engage with that post. And I can personally manage that. And some people can manage doing one a day. Some people can manage one a month, right? But that's social media training is a different training for another time, and I'm not the expert on that. So maybe ask others like Miss Dawn Brinkley and others who are doing really well on social media on how they manage that. But for me, that's what I had.
Are you going to talk about at some point turning off the notifications or anything like that, or is that enough?
Well, I think you've covered that the whole day. I mean, you know, like turning off the news feeds, turning off the pings and the sounds and stuff so you can focus.
Yeah.
You know, and there
Give
is
yourself freedom.
there is a mode on your phone, a do not disturb mode as well, that you can turn on just for that power hour. Right?
Yes.
Literally, you could build $1 million business just an hour a day of making calls. And if everybody was doing that, you know.
I can get a couple exposures, and I work leads and I do 3-foot rule. I can get 2 exposures in a half-hour calls, usually a half hour. It's not that much to do 2 exposures a day, 60 months, and generate business. But you know what? If I don't put it on my calendar, I forget to do it, or I get distracted from doing it. Is that fair? Yeah. So compartment, please put it in your calendar. Put that in your calendar and put your weekly meeting in your calendar with a reminder. and you'll build this business on 2 exposures a day in a weekly meeting.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much. Please help me welcome back to the stage, Mr. Hasnain Kaku.